let's try and have a new segment. Bold prediction, the Big Z's bold prediction of the week. Now, because it's preseason, you don't really have anything crazy to say. But honestly, I'm just going to say it. I don't think the Eagles are a Super Bowl contender. I know that might sound crazy because they just won the Super Bowl last year. But realistically, let's look at this team. I don't know what to say other than the fact of the defense that they had last year is no longer the defense that they have this season. Not to mention, they were the number 1 ranked defense last year for a reason. They didn't let anybody get by them. But there's some names on this list that's missing from that team. Darius Slay, gone. Granted, he was getting old and he didn't really need to be on the team. Got fine, but he's gone. Milton Williams, gone. Josh Sweat, gone. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, gone. Nakobe Dean is out for the first few weeks of the season. They did pick up Jahad Campbell. Again, the Eagles' defense is not bad. However, there are a lot of key pieces missing. And you do not want that in terms of the defense and the expectation that they built up last season to be this Super Bowl winning team. You kind of have Super Bowl winning expectations. So they may... I don't think they win the division. They may go 9-10 win season. They may make the playoffs. They may win a wild card game. I do not trust that team to go back to and not only an NFC championship, but a Super Bowl. The farthest they'll make it is the divisional round, which it is a successful season. They're still a Super Bowl contender, but in my eyes, the Philadelphia Eagles are not contenders. For what the defense was last season, you cannot match that this season. Yes, Jalen Carter's a beast. Yes, Jordan Davis is a beast. Zach Bond proved himself. Nolan Smith, great players. It's a different team. Quinyon Mitchell played awesome last year. Cooper DeJean upgraded as a starting cornerback. Reed Blankenship is there, and Andrew Mukaba. But there's just this inner voice telling me, hey, there's something missing from this team. Something's gonna happen that I'm not expecting, but this is a 9-10, 11-win team. This is a very tough schedule for the Eagles this season. If we go through the roster and the schedule, it's a tough team. First in the NFC East, Cowboys, Chiefs, Rams, Buccaneers, Broncos. Giants twice is gonna be a walk. Vikings, Lions, Cowboys. Sure. Bears, Chargers, Vegas Raiders, Bills, Commanders twice. Realistically, there's only 2, I would say probably 3 considering you play the Giants twice. But there's really 3 gimme games, and that's the 2 games against the Giants and then the Vegas Raiders. There's not really an easy game on that schedule, and that's where I'm skeptical with the Eagles. You play the NFC North, one of the hardest divisions in football. You can't count out the Vikings. You can't count out the Bears. You can't count out the Lions. You can't count out every team. So, I don't know. Just an inner feeling. Saquon Barkley, is he going to rush for 2,000 yards again? You'd have to convince me. No, I don't believe it's going to happen. I mean, to do that 2 years in a row, every team is going to be worried about stopping the Eagles' run game. And yes, the Eagles' run game was so great last year, and that's what made the pass game that much better with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Goddard came back. Again, best offensive line in football. I'm not doubting the Eagles, but I feel like there's just a little too much talk for a team that won the Super Bowl and lost a lot of items along the way. There's a lot missing from that team. Yes, they still have a lot. But I'm just pointing things out that I see, and I really don't believe this is a Super Bowl contending team. They're a playoff team, no doubt. But can they be up there like they were last year? Can they go on that run? It's very possible, but I think the NFC is just wide open right now. The Commanders are better. The Lions are better. Heck, I mean, there's some other teams as a wild card that could upset this team. So you would have to win a bye, which I do not believe is going to happen. I don't even think they win the division. The Cowboys, Dak is healthy. Jaden Daniels is meaning business. This is not a walk in the park for the Eagles. It's a tough division. It's a tough schedule. So I'm not convinced. I know it's hard to say I'm not convinced after a team won the Super Bowl, but there's a lot missing from this team, and I'm not buying into it this year. Last year I was the one that said preseason the Eagles are winning the Super Bowl. I can firmly say that. I have it on a Twitter account. It literally says August, Mike predicted Eagles Super Bowl. It was Eagles-Texans, but, we don't have to count out the bias in the background. Yes, I put the Texans as Super Bowl contenders, but you can actually see it. If you want to disagree, let me know in the comments, and you can jerk me an earful. But realistically, you're not going to change my mind that the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. Put it that way. They might even make it back, but they're not winning it. And I said the same thing with the Chiefs last year. They had a great season, and they didn't win the Super Bowl, though. They didn't win it. So maybe it's not they're not Super Bowl contenders, they're just not winning the Super Bowl. Because they are Super Bowl contenders, but to me, I don't believe they're in the contention like they were the team that they were last season. I think I'm kind of repeating myself, but you get the point. The Eagles, in my book, are not contenders. You could hit me if you want. I don't really care. That's for the comments. So that's the bold prediction of the week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know some thoughts of what you want to see for the future. There's a lot of stuff I can play around with. I kind of just went with the topics off the top of my head. There's a lot of teams that I do believe could have good seasons. I could do a deeper breakdown. But there's going to be certain topics that I'm just going to dive into in terms of weekly podcasts. Again, I'm not going to hop on here and do another hour chop down until next week. But let me know in the comments. I know we didn't hit the full hour, but we're trying to get back into the groove of things. So thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate all the love. But this is it. Football season 2025. We're going to go absolute ham.